Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This is the Maibatsu Manchez Scout C. And I'm about to find out if it'll off-road in the snow. This variant of the Manchez Scout is the one that you get with the Brickade 6x6, aka the Acid Lab, and it's used as your delivery vehicle so that, you know, when you go to a sting operation to drop off acid into the back of, I don't know, just a Lincoln Continental, you get swarmed by like 75,000 cops and you have a crap vehicle to get away on. Not that I'm salty about that particular delivery mission that I've now had the 2 deliveries that I've been trying to make. But, okay, yeah, fine, I'm salty. But it's stupid. I'm done with this whole DLC, honestly. It's just all 48-minute cooldown on the Dax missions, and yes, I know there's a way around it, but by default, 48-minute cooldown on Dax missions, Rockstar, you're clearly doing the acid that you're parodying in the game, because how else could you have come up with some asshattery like that? Anyway, okay, stop, take a deep breath. Let it out. Okay, we're good. We're not good, but we're good. Anyway, God, look, even under a wheelie, this thing's garbage. I don't like this bike. I like the regular Manchez, but even with the upgrades, this Scout C just, I don't know, has no balls. It just isn't a good bike. It's just not. I don't like it. It has nothing to do with the delivery missions. I just don't think its performance is there. I could be totally wrong. I've not looked at like lap times. I've not looked at anything about the handling data. I'm just comparing it to the regular Manchez, and the regular Manchez feels better. The regular Manchez Scout feels better. This one just feels like garbage, and I don't really understand it. Why would you have such a bad bike for delivery missions? It's kind of uncalled for. It is getting up the mountain in a fairly decent time. Then again, it's a motorcycle. I mean, you know, bikes tend to do well on the mountain, even in the snow. The only one I can imagine would be the really low grip ones. But we've never tested those. We've only ever tested 2 motorcycles, which we'll talk about the other one in just a second and how it compares to this one. But we're nearly up to the top, but check this out. No grip from the front wheel in the middle of a turn. And then, of course, I have no speed. And look at this. Full throttle. Nothing. It's just like mind-boggling how bad this bike is. I had to wheelie on the side of a hill to get this thing to finally go up. But we are at the top in 2 minutes, 49 seconds. So will it off-road in the snow? I mean, it made it, but God, that was unpleasant. It was not a nice ride. I don't like the bike, if you can't tell. But in terms of stats, out of 62 vehicles that we have tested in the snow as of this video, it is number 5. So it is way up there. It is, however, 2.65 seconds slower than the BF 400. Yeah. But it did make it up in 4.43 seconds faster than a free crawler. Donkey apparently forgot where the brakes are. They're usually that one you squeeze on the left, Donkey. Sometimes a foot pedal on the right. Yeah, I guess it depends on the bike. That's where it was. Yeah, we all saw that coming. He went flying off the mountain. Of course he did. I had a motorcycle in high school and college. Oh, God, this thing's garbage. Yeah. How does a bike not have the grip to stop? Yes, I know it's snowing, but how does a bike not have the grip to stop? Look at it. It's still going. It's just on its way down the hill, still sliding. Now you can go. See, it doesn't even have grip to stop when it's on its side, and I'm going to face plant, and this is just the beginning of the woes, really. We're just starting to scratch the surface. But it did make for a very enjoyable Discord call, as everyone laughed at my calamities and those of Donkey. And during the damage descent as well, we had a pretty good time. You'll see. And you can hear that entire Discord conversation in the behind the scenes version of Will It Offroad. You knew it was coming. Here, the shill. By the way, if we're going to shill, let's talk about Will It Offroad merch as well. That's right. There are 3 different designs. One that outlines the course on the mountain, one that has some trucks going over it, and then one that is, I forget what the third one is. I think it's just the mountain itself. Yeah, it's just the mountain itself. Like in silhouette form. But the one with the trucks going off the top of the jump, my favorite. The course one's very nice and minimalist. It's just an outline, just that tracks the path that goes up Mount Chiliad. But you can see this thing, it's just like, this was full throttle, and I'm going backwards. It's just, how does this thing not have any... It has no power. It has 0 low-end power. It is so terrible. Such a bad bike. But anyways, we were talking about the behind-the-scenes video. You can get access to that one of 4 different ways. The first 3 require that you have your service, respective service linked to Discord, and that's becoming a member here on YouTube. Just click that join button. God, I hate this bike. This is so pathetic. The second way is to be a Twitch subscriber, whether you pay for it, use Prime, or get gifted a sub. Or third, to make a monthly pledge over on patreon.com/Vainglorious. All 3 of those will give you access to the Vainglorious supporters section on our Vainglorious Discord server. And, Jesus, can't even have the grip to make that turn. I'm so done with this bike. The 4th way to get access to that Vainglorious supporters section of our Discord server is right on the server itself via a server subscription. All 4 of those methods get you access. That's where I post the link to the behind the scenes video. And the behind the scenes video not only includes our Discord conversation, which was me ranting about now hitting the tree of many crashes, I'm sure. Excuse me. It is also an ad-free version of the video, so no ads on supporters-only videos. And as its name implies, it is behind the scenes. It has some of our outtakes and shenanigans that we get up to that you don't see in the video that goes to the public. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. I still think it's the better version of Will It Offroad. I don't know. You can ask the supporters on our Discord server if they think it's better or not. But we're down 3 minutes, 58 seconds. For the first time ever, I get to like have somebody right up here beside me as we head out. And yeah, this is going to be, you can see it coming. And that's that, really. If you look on the map where my bike is, I don't have an easy way to get back to it. And I'm trying to figure it out from here. And I'm like, well, I'm going to have to just die again and hopefully get a better way up. Because from where I was standing, there was no way up. From here, I thought it might be possible because these hills aren't as bad over here, but they're still plenty steep. But I thought maybe I would have a chance to get up to the bike. But then I realized I've got that big craggy bit over there between me and the bike, and yeah, I just called it the DNF. There's our support vehicles. And finally, something that doesn't make me salty. The MTL Brickade 6x6. I know, it's a strange transition. I'm just bitter about the bike. I don't know, bikes should be better than that, and they almost always are. But that one was just such a pain in my ass. The Brickade is, of course, the, you can see the bike that we just drove, technically. I mean, it's obviously just a static model. But there it is, strapped to the back of the Brickade 6x6 as a delivery vehicle. This is the Acid Lab. I feel really bad for the guy that works inside of there, because this gets bumpy. And I mean, I guess he would technically be in there because he's always in there when you walk in. So how he survived all this, I don't know. Because I don't think there's seatbelts back there. I have no idea. I haven't really looked that closely. The whole acid business isn't one I'm really interested in GTA. It's just, I don't know. I'm kind of over GTA as a whole. to be honest. I still enjoy a little bit off-road, and I'll still, you know, do some community stuff now and then, but this DLC and the last one have just kind of put me off of it. Not to mention some other things that have happened that just kind of took away my desire to really get involved with the game all that much, which is kind of sad. I love that he's using a jetpack. That probably is going to bite him in the ass later. So, the Brickade. This is actually the second time we took the Brickade out. The first time, it couldn't even get up here because I had one of the ram weapons installed on the front of it, and it couldn't do it. It got hung up on every little thing. I think the one time I got it past this area, it continued to get hung up in other areas, and it just kept shoving me off the mountain. So we recorded the Manchez. I went and took off the ram weapon on the front. It's still struggling quite a bit, though, as you can tell. It's definitely proving to be a challenge. It's just, even without installing an extra one, it still has that big, massive front bumper and a pretty big overhang, and it just catches right here. And when it catches, it slides me to the left every time. So I've just got to get, like I just did, enough speed and hope it bounces in the right direction to deal with it. There's only one other spot that front end really becomes a liability, and that's a really steep bit right after this climb. When the front end's not getting caught on stuff, it's not that bad. It's got plenty of low end power. It has plenty of grip. The only thing is, because it's 6-wheel drive and you've got the front wheels spinning in addition to the rear wheels, I don't know what that is. It just got blown up. It can be a challenge to actually just steer and keep the thing going straight when the wheels are spinning. And it can be challenging at times to keep the wheel spin under control because the engine is so loud. It's kind of hard to hear when the wheels are spinning, and of course it's dark, so it's kind of hard to see when the wheels are spinning. Not that I'd be able to see the wheels anyhow, because this thing's a big, well, brick, thus Brickade. It is huge. I know that's not where the name comes from, Brick Brickade. But anyway, we're definitely in for a bit of a long climb. I just accidentally dropped an oil slick. Or maybe I did it on purpose. Who knows? Actually, it's not an oil slick. It's a EMP. Yeah, it is an EMP. So whoever that is behind me to set it off, well, they won't have any trouble catching back up, because the Brickade, while very competent off-road, is very slow off-road. Mainly the big overhangs and just the sheer length of this boy. He is definitely a long boy. This turn proves it. I have to just do a burnout against the wall and let it pivot around that way, because traditional turn, not happening. Just isn't. But while we're in the middle of the slow climb, it's a good time to mention Will It Off-Road Bingo. Link is in the description down below, so you can play along at home while watching the video. And all you do is click on Generate a New Card, and then click on things on your card as they happen in the video. And if you get bingo, you throw it down in the comments down below. And even if you don't get bingo, still, you know, drop a comment. Comments and likes really do help the video. It helps with YouTube's engagement, which helps increase the reach of my videos. So, you know, even if you can't be a channel supporter financially, you can do a lot to help out my channel just by clicking the like button. Brandon Talks, take two. By clicking the like button and by leaving a comment. And if you can't think of anything to say, just leave a mountain emoji or a snowflake emoji since it's snowing, or a truck emoji or a motorcycle emoji. You know, just leave an emoji. They work perfectly well. Just like the Brickade. I mean, it's doing it. It's getting up there. It's not pretty. It's certainly not the easiest thing in the world, but it's happening. I mean, it's up here. And we have tested the other Brickade, so we know that one without any engine modifications or transmission upgrades and things like that can make it. So surely this one can as well, right? Yeah, you would think so. This was a bit hairy right here, though, because, again, that front bumper catches when I try to turn. making it a little difficult to get up, or a lot difficult to get up. So I backed up several times, hoping to be able to find an angle that we could do this from, and that was sketch. I was at risk of falling off the mountain there. So I decided to go, instead of trying to turn and climb at the same time, to head down here very carefully, being very, very delicate. Because this is a bumpy area, and I don't want to send this thing flying, because it does have kind of strange physics. So, gonna pull up onto here, and then do a multi-point turn to get turned around. Actually, am I gonna get that done in the 3-point turn? Wow, okay. I thought it took me more times than that. There's Hobo in his camera ship. And now I'm just gunning it, just giving it the beans, and kind of getting sort of in the direction I want to be, but not really. And then the one single tree that could have been a risk, of course, I managed to hit it. Yeah, thanks, Zazan. That flashlight really helps. The sarcasm came through there, right? Yeah. Right. It doesn't hurt anything either. But look at that. Lightly on the throttle. We're finally up. 7 minutes, 4 seconds. So will it off-road in the snow? Yeah, ding. Yeah, it will. Out of 62 vehicles that we have tested in the snow, it's 50. I thought that was my phone chiming behind me. Awesome. Kind of forgot to silence that. Sorry about that. In terms of where that stands in overall, it is 39.4 seconds slower. God, this was terrifying right here. 39.4 seconds slower than the Gauntlet Hellfire. However, 5.45 seconds faster than the stock Brickade, so not bad. In terms of service vehicles, this is only the second one we've ever tested. The other one was the other Brickade, so obviously it is in first place. 35 seconds in, and I've not really made any progress here. There we go. Now we can start the long, arduous journey back down. This thing does not have the best brakes. I mean, they may be really good, but this is a massive, heavy vehicle. And you'll hear the brakes protest quite a bit, those air brakes. There we go. Yeah. I love that that feature is in GTA, though. It is quite comical. It takes a little while to get this thing down as well, because I just can't go very fast. Again, because of the strange physics of this thing. It pivots weird, it bounces weird. There you can see the front end came up and then the back end came up. If I had any speed whatsoever, every little bump would be just doom, and I would be falling off the mountain. So I've got to take it easy. I have to go slow. So even though both vehicles today made it to the top in the snow, I'd say just don't. Let me be the one that has to suffer through this. Don't use these off-road. Don't use them off-road in the snow specifically. But off-road in general as well. God, I really thought I was going to go over there. That was definitely a pucker moment. And you know what I mean by a pucker moment. And now we're back to the same turn that proved difficult the last time. I thought maybe go over the edge, but then I was worried that it would tip. So I'm trying to stay as close to the edge as possible and then do a burnout to get the back end to come around. And just doing my best to keep it all together here on the mountain, backing up to give myself a little bit more space. And it went over, but then it righted itself. Like I said, weird physics. I don't know what else to chalk that up to. All I was doing was not giving it any throttle and turning on the joystick, hoping it would roll back over. What else can you really do? Other than join us for recording Will It Off-Road. God, my transitions are getting so good. Or segues, I should say. Yeah, you can join us for the recording of Will It Off-Road, as well as taking part in our community streams and other community videos. All you need to do is be a member of the Vainglorious Discord server, and play the game we're playing and recording or streaming on PC. That's the platform we record and stream from. And we would love to have you. And even if you don't play on PC, you should still join the Vainglorious Discord server if you're a fan of the channel. That is the hub of all things Vainglorious. So you're missing out if you are a fan of the channel. You're definitely missing out. I'm on there every day, every single day. And so are a lot of the people that you see in the videos. You can chat with us, hang out with us, and just become, a valuable part of the community. And of course, we do have people who play on other platforms and play other games. So you're sure to find some people to play with, even if it's not GTA on PC. Finally off the mountain proper. Now we're just in a hilly area. I'd say the mountain starts where that trail back there that we just turned off begins. This is just woods. This is just a wooded trail. Not really part of the mountain. I mean, we're still in, I believe, Chiliad State Forest, but not really part of the mountain. It's just a gentle hill. And, tree and mini crashes. 2 victims in one day. I'm pretty sure the first one was tree and mini crashes. Still continue to take it slow, though, just because this is still a long vehicle, and I've got a lot of tight turns, and I still have the front wheels wanting to spin every time I give it gas, which means they can't turn. I mean, that's just the way friction works. If they're spinning, they can't get grip, and so they can't move you forward, and they can't help you turn. And the way this thing just lurches forward at times complicates the matter even worse. I was really worried I was going to go off to the side there, but managed not to. I did hit Donkey, though, so that's the thing. Not the only time I'll hit Donkey today. We're down in 5 minutes, 13 seconds. The cargo bob is there to see if it can lift this. It couldn't. I had to drive it back up. But we're here for our damage descent to see what type of damage it can take. And, obviously I can't fall off of this, so we shouldn't get a DNF. But there you can see the weird physics in play. And this is where I worry about the guy in the back. Just, he'd be dead by now, surely. But nope, he's still back there making acid. Good for him. But it's a big long boy. So it's going to hit every little thing that it possibly can. Which means even the damage descent is going to take a minute or two before we're finally down. Thankfully, in the next 2 weeks, our vehicles are much more competent than today's. Next week, we will be looking at the Obey Omnis EGT. I think that's the way those words go together. And the Pegassi Torero XO. And then for our final week of more off-road in the snow, it's hard to believe we're halfway through already. But in that final week, it will be the Gallivanter Baller ST and the Bravado Greenwood. So much more competent vehicles coming than we had this week, thankfully. Because I eventually start running out of stuff to talk about when these things take this long. So obviously this thing, there's no way it's going under that tunnel. So I thought, hey, we'll go on and manage to bonk into the train. I really thought it would stop. But yeah, hey, check this out. Donkey was there and now Donkey's not there. I was not expecting that. I thought, one, that I would be able to clear him and not hit him, but I barely tapped him. And so he went boom. So I guess between that first hit earlier and that hit right now, no more jetpack. What's that thing called? I don't even know. It's a jetpack. It's not even a jetpack because it's not a pack on your back. You stand on it. Jetpack is a... Anyway. It's like a backpack with a jet. Well, hello. That was quite the bounce. I was determined to drive over the woodpile, but it wasn't happening. Thruster. That's the name of the jetpack. Brandon's like, oh, God, Brandon. Somebody literally just facepalmed and shook their head at me. We're down 2 minutes, 22 seconds. So let's take a look at the damage on the Brickade 6x6. And the headlights are gone, and Donkey exploded. That's it. That bar in the back might be a little bit. Not really sure. But that's going to do it for this week's Will It Off-Road. Really do appreciate you watching. Really appreciate your likes and comments as well. So thank you very much. We'll be back next week with, like I said, the Obey, and the Bagasi. And until then, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.